I'm Wendy Gillette with Small Cap Nation, joining you today from the NASDAQ market site here in Times Square. And with me today are James Watt, the captain of BrewDog, and Darren Marble, the CEO of CrowdfundX. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
So we'll start with you. What is CrowdfundX and how does it work?
CrowdfundX is a financial marketing firm, and we help our clients raise millions of dollars through Regulation A+ equity crowdfunding. To date, we've helped our clients raise nearly $25 million over multiple campaigns, and we found that marketing is really the biggest challenge in helping issuers be successful. So that's the problem that we solve with CrowdfundX.
And you have a big conference coming up next week?
We have what we think will be the largest equity crowdfunding conference to date in the United States. It's taking place next Wednesday and Thursday, December 7th and 8th at the Los Angeles Convention Center in downtown LA. And we've made an effort to bring in people from outside the industry. So we're very excited to have James Altucher, who's a legendary author, entrepreneur, keynote on day one, and Shark Tank's Robert Herjavec, keynote on day two.
And James, you have a company that I think many people love because it's beer. So tell me what you have developed.
Well, we set up in Northeast Scotland in 2007 with 2 humans, 1 dog, and a big mission to make other people as passionate about fantastic beer as we are. And since 2007, we've now grown a business which employs over 850 people. We sell our beers in 60 countries around the planet. And the key to what we've built so far has been what we call equity for punks, which is letting people who love our beers invest and become part owners of our company.
What kind of beers do you produce?
We make IPAs, we make imperial stouts. It's basically completely selfish. We make beers that we want to drink ourselves, but they tend to be
selfish, but I bet it works well.
Yeah, it can work okay.
And Darren, I know you have some questions for James.
So, I would love to understand, how did BrewDog go about building its crowd? I always tell my clients, you can't crowdfund without a crowd, and it's a process. So how did you guys get started?
From day one, as a company, we've been about community, and our philosophy was always to try and shorten the distance as much as possible between ourselves and the people who enjoy the beers that we make, and that's through engagement, that's through openness, that's through transparency. We've done things like giving away the recipe for every beer we've ever made to anyone that wants to download it online, and by doing things like that, you can build a community, you can build a culture around about what you do, and then once you've done that, you can look at this amazing equity crowdfund model, but you have to have the community in place before you look to do the funding.
So talk to us, James, about storytelling and digital marketing. These are 2 things we're also big proponents of. They tend to be overlooked by the majority of issuers that are going down the Regulation A+ path. Clearly, you guys understand the power of storytelling exceptionally well. Talk to us about your marketing philosophy.
For us, it's all about digital and it's all about engagement. And if you look at conventional marketing for beer businesses, it's all about budget. It's about how much money you can spend on TV, radio, magazine ads, and we just couldn't compete in that environment. But all of a sudden, if you go online, if you go into social media, it's not about budget, it's about how intelligent your content is, it's about your ability to connect with consumers, it's about honesty, openness, it's about transparency, and in that type of environment, we can not only compete with the big companies, but we can knock the socks off them. So that digital social element has been so key to us from day one, and by doing that, you're also building your community, and that community is the heart and soul of our business and has underpinned everything that we've done.
And also talk to us about, you've really created a movement, and this is something that I think most issuers are jealous of and or strive to do, but it's easier said than done. Yeah. You've created a movement that is in some ways bigger than the BrewDog brand itself. How did you guys accomplish that?
We almost kind of fell into it by accident. The first time we did an online equity crowdfunding was in 2009. We couldn't get the banks to give us any money. It was a global recession. The banks were all in a tailspin, and we needed money to continue to expand our company, so we came up with what we dubbed equity for punks. And the first time we did it, it cost us £100,000 to set up at a time that we'd £50,000 in our bank account. So we gambled the entire future of our company in this completely untried and untested online equity crowdfunding, which we pioneered in the UK. But what we love about it is that any company that's growing has to have access to capital, and conventionally how you get that capital involves some degree of compromise. If it's a VC, they're going to tie you up in terms and conditions. If it's a parent company, they're going to expect you to do certain things in certain ways. But I love the fact that my business is owned by a community of 50,000 people who who cared as much as I do about fantastic beer, who cared as much as I do about investing in the people we have in the company, and that means we can continue to do what we want without having to make any type of compromise at all.
I love it. Well, you guys have done a fantastic job, and I commend you for the multi-year journey that has brought you to this point. Let's talk for a minute about valuation. One of the most interesting features of Regulation A+ is it gives issuers the ability to use a self-assigned valuation. You can set your own terms. You've given the BrewDog USA business a $350 million valuation. Tell us how you arrived at that number, and what do you think are the risks and opportunities associated with the entrepreneur setting the terms of the deal?
So this is something we've got a good bit of experience with in the UK. So in the UK, we've done equity punks on 4 different occasions, and each time we've set the valuation. And what we've also done in the UK is we've also got an open share trading window. So there's 1 day every year where people can sell their shares, so they can actually get a return. There's a potential of an exit, and every time we've done that, the value has been over and above where we've set it at, which gives us some comfort that we've set the value at a fair level. In terms of the US valuation, what we did is we looked at some kind of recent transactions. So Ballast Point, which was acquired by Constellation for $1 billion, would have been one of the ones that we looked at, and then we set it in line with where we are with capacity, where we were with distribution, and kind of benchmarked it off Ballast Point and some other bigger deals.
Understood, thank you. And lastly, I want to talk about the idea that in order for this industry to grow, both globally and here in the US, ultimately issuers are going to need to deliver a return to the investors. We need to see wins. What is BrewDog's plan to deliver returns to the 50,000 and growing equity punks globally?
Well, our UK business, as I said, has got 50,000 equity punk investors. They get lifetime discounts. They get invites to our annual meeting, which is over 6,000 people attend, with music and beer and all these cool things. But at its heart, it is a serious financial investment in a company that's growing quickly, but also a young company. And normally, these type of investment opportunities are reserved for angel investors or venture capitalists. People who invested in their business in 2009 and 2011 were able to sell their shares on the share trading window a couple of weeks ago and could make an 800% return in less than 4 years. So it's a fantastic return. We've been the fastest growing food and drinks company in the UK for the last 4 years, and we're all set to continue that rapid growth. So all these amazing perks, all these amazing benefits, but its heart and soul, this is a serious financial investment in a very quickly growing company.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on all your success, and we look forward to seeing you guys continue to win big.
Cool, thank you.
You're expanding into Ohio,
Yes.
so tell us a little bit about what you're building there.
Yeah, so the US is such a fantastic market and a key market for us, so we decided to make beers in Columbus, Ohio. So it's a $30 million investment, which I decided to do after spending 12 hours in Columbus.
Columbus is a great city.
I definitely didn't overthink it. It's a great city, so we've just finished the building. The equipment is being set up and commissioned at the moment, so we will be making beers for the US market in Columbus from February 2017.
And there's going to be a couple bars there too?
Yeah, we've got one on site in the Columbus Brewery and also one downtown in Columbus, but we're looking for additional locations at the moment. And as part of our Equity Punk crowdfund raise, if we get more than 500 investors from any city in America, we will look to put a bar there.
Build a bar.
Yeah.
This is definitely some interesting investing. And thanks so much for joining us today. For more stories just like James, go to smallcapnation.com.